But Liverpool have been doing business, Jonathan, and they've signed with Victor Moses on loan for a year. That's an interesting transfer, would you think?
Yeah, it is. I'm glad for him. I saw a lot of him at the Cup of Nations when he played for Nigeria, and he was absolutely excellent in that tournament. And that was the first time I looked at him and thought, actually, he's really not just a very good player, but potentially even better than that.
Right.
So it's good that he's going to get playing time, which at Chelsea, I think, with 7 other players playing that line of 3 behind the front man, he might have struggled for. So I think that's a great signing for them. I think it's a great signing for him. And bringing in the 2 defenders today as well. I think I was at a position where they needed to strengthen, particularly with Kolo Touré having the groin injury.
You not think of Victor Moses, especially being a predominantly right side. I'm not sure if he could play on the left side in that. You've got the Raheem Sterling who's just come in and he's doing his stuff. Well, I'm not sure if he's a definite shoe-in to play as many games as he might think. Victor Moses.
I mean, he won't necessarily play every game, but I mean, Raheem Sterling is still only 17, 18. So I mean, you can't expect him to play more than 20 games maybe maximum just to start. So if Moses plays 20, 25, then that's a lot more than you get at Chelsea.
So do you think Moses will be able to express himself a bit more at Liverpool? Because Rodgers, he likes to play with wide men, he likes to fizz the ball around a little bit. I mean, under Mourinho, that might not happen at Chelsea.
Yeah, although in some ways Moses is a Mourinho type player in that he's quite direct, he's quite quick. He's something Liverpool lack in that regard. That he's not sort of. I'm just going to sound like I'm being overcritical, but he's not a tippy-tappy player. He's somebody who is quite aggressive. When he gets the ball, he is very direct with it. So I think he gives Liverpool an interesting variation. I think that's something that you can see Rodgers has done over the last year or so. That he has slightly modified that idealism of we're going to hold the ball, we're going to pass it all the time, we're going to have 70% possession. Well, it's not that anymore. It's still a passing game, but there is a little bit more aggression, a bit more directness there now.
Yeah, indeed. Christian, Everton, they're under Martinez now. They haven't really signed anybody, have they? I mean, not off the top of my head, but as I say, they're trying to keep their players.
Just raiding Wigan.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, familiarity can breed contempt, so he has to be very careful with what he's done. I think, again, when you move to a new club, I think if you can get a few guys who you know personally, it probably eases the transition period for him. And again, they're all fairly decent signings. I think if there's one in that quartet that they've made that maybe stands out, it's De La Fleur of Barcelona, because again, the talk is that Martinez very much exploited his relationship to get that player there. And because of that, that's something that Everton will really need, because again, as we know, that they're fairly parsimonious when it comes to transfers, not big spenders. So if you can use any contacts, anything you can do to get good players at the club, it has to be a benefit.
Indeed it does. Well, at Liverpool, Jonathan, you wrote a piece recently on Kolo Touré and said that he was perhaps getting back to his best. And now he's got a little bit of an injury, and they've signed this young guy from France. I mean, would you see those two as the pair for Liverpool come this season, or do you think one will replace the other?
No, I think Daniel Agger will still be the first choice. I mean, if you think Agger and Sakho seems to be a perfect pairing. Sakho very big, very physical, very strong, great in the air. Agger, I mean, good in the air, but also passes the ball nicely out from the back. I think the two of them are just a natural pairing. I mean, Kolo Touré, something I've got a lot of time for, if nothing else, because in 2006 at the Cup of Nations, he was the one player who you could guarantee every single day you could talk to. So I was in Cairo.
The Ian Wright of the African Cup.
I was staying near the Cameroon team hotel.
Yeah.
You'd go to Cameroon every morning, get nothing.
Wow.
And then you'd think, I'll get in a taxi 40 minutes to the Ivory Coast hotel, and you could pretty much guarantee if you went in the gift shop in the lobby, Kolo Touré will be there, just waiting to be interviewed. Wow. And he and his brother are both great talkers, both lovely guys. Yeah. And then it was actually 2 years after that, I think he got the injury, which really has caused him a huge amount of problems. So
was that the groin injury?
Yeah, it was. I think it was the second group game. Against Guinea? It was a game he won.
No one in here is going to argue that point.
Let's say Guinea. The game he won very comfortably, but he got stretched off with a groin injury, and they brought him back for the semi-final against Egypt.
That's right.
And I think probably came back too soon. And Amiyazaki absolutely destroyed him in that game. If you look at the third goal, Ivory Coast had just got one back, so they were 2-1 down. There's only 3 or 4 minutes after
and
that.
And Ivory Coast have been.
They were the favourites, as they always are, and they never win it. And there's a long ball over the top. Mete missed it, and he comes to Zaki, and Kolo Touré was sort of backtracking slightly because he obviously expected Mete to win the header, and Zaki sort of goes to cut under his left foot, and the ball just sort of sticks under his right foot, and Kolo Touré just goes with the body
He
movement.
looks like the best
And
lane of all time.
And he just runs away from the ball, and it's
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 yards away from the ball, and looks over his shoulder. Where's he gone? And Zacchia by this point has recovered his feet, and he's just driving the box and drills in the bottom corner. Now I presume that Kolo Touré was trying to protect his groin by anticipating the movement rather than trying to jockey him as he would normally have done.
Yeah.
But he just looked awful, and I think that hit his confidence. And then I think he had malaria that summer.
Yes.
I think that combination of things just hammered him.
What about Kolo Touré in respect of a signing? How long's he signed with Liverpool? Is it
It's a year, isn't it, on loan?
It's a year. It's a year.
Oh, no, it's a free. It's a free.
It's a free. I think he signed a 1-year contract with an option for the second year.
That's
I think.
right.
I could be wrong about that. I think that's right. But it's. I mean, I thought he was finished, and it's the way he's played the start of the season. It looks like he might be back, and that's great for him.
And the big
he's
news-
only 32.
Well, the big news is he got in my fantasy football team as well. Anyway, lads, a great chat about Liverpool. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again.